The process of converting objects into a byte stream is called as serialization. This byte stream is very important because this is what we send on the network. This is what we store in file or databases. So if you want to reduce latency of the application, you have to focus on the way you are doing serialization. In this video, we'll be talking about Protobuf and JSON serialization. First, we'll start with the JSON serialization. In JSON serialization, we convert the whole object into its JSON representation. Then we convert this JSON into a string. After that, we map each character in the string to its ASCII value. Okay, so for example, in this JSON, opening bracket ASCII value is 7b, double quote ASCII value is 22, I ASCII value is 69. So this is how we convert a JSON to its byte array. This is not efficient. First reason is we are encoding lot of delimiters. We are encoding opening bracket, double quote, colon, then closing bracket, which is not required, which is not part of payload. Second thing, everything is character. Okay, so JSON doesn't understand int32, int64 data types. It's not strongly typed language. It's everything is just a number. Okay, so and during serialization, everything is treated as a character, and we need 1 byte to encode one character. This is not efficient. Second thing is we are sending everything in the payload. We are sending field names, etc., which can be avoided. So this is how JSON serialization works. Now let's talk about Protobuf serialization. Protobuf uses TLV encoding, tag, length, value. Every field in your object will be represented by TLV. Let's take this example. Here we have user class with ID, and data type of this ID is int32, and we have set this ID to 200 value. Okay, let's try to encode this using TLV method. First thing, T stands for tag, and tag consists of field number and the wire type. In our example, the field number is the position of the field and it is 1. Second thing, wire type. Wire type is int32. Int32, int64, all these integers data type in protocol buffer are grouped under one single wire type called variable with integers, and the ID for that variable with integers is 0. Okay, so field number 1, wire type 0, and if we do this OR operation, we'll get 8 value, and this is the hex representation for 8. Next part is length. For variable with integers, all this int32, int64, it is not, we don't pass length in the final byte array. Instead of that, in the value part only, we add some communication bits which defines the size of the payload. Okay, so we can skip the length part. Next part is value. Okay, value part is little bit tricky. In our example, we have set ID to 200. This 200 is our actual payload. So while encoding this 200, first we'll convert it into its binary form. Then we'll do a Little Indian conversion. In Little Indian, what we do is we put most significant byte in the last position and the least significant byte in the first position, just reverse. So yeah, after doing this swapping operation, we need to set a communication bit. Okay, so here if I set this communication bit to 1, it means that there is one more byte afterwards which I need to read. Okay, so and in the last byte there is no byte afterwards for the current record, for the current field, so that's why this communication bit is set to 0. Okay, so through this communication bit we define the how much payload we need to, how much byte array we need to scan. So and this is the final hex representation for this binary output. So overall we only need 3 bytes to encode this user data type, and in JSON serialization we use around 10 bytes to represent this JSON. Okay, so it's around 70% reduction in the payload size. Now let's do a final comparison between JSON and Protobuf. In JSON, what we understand, we convert everything into a string. Then we map each character to its ASCII value. And because of this encoding, we encode all the delimiters. We also encode field names. And because of all this, the payload size increases. Overall, we are not doing any optimization in JSON serialization. But the pros of JSON serialization is readability. We can convert the byte array output to a complete JSON without any understanding of the schema. On the other hand, Protobuf uses TLB encoding. Through this encoding, we skip passing delimiters. We even skip passing field names. Instead, we use at a decoding end, we use protospec file and the tag that we pass in the payload to decode the field name. And so because of all this, the payload size decreases and our latency improves. But the con of the protobuf serialization is both the application, encoding and decoding, both needs the understanding of the schema to decode a byte array.